Sergeant Jessica Barnes had been working as a security guard at Fort Leavenworth Military Prison for 4 years. She stood guard at gates, controlled prisoners, until the day 15 dangerous prisoners escaped, and Jessica saying, "SWAT Team Leader Barnes here, all units listen to me," shocked the prison staff. Before we dive into this incredible story of hidden tactical expertise and prison security, tell me in the comments which city you're watching from today. And if you believe stories like this deserve to be shared, hit that subscribe button. These are the tales that remind us the most dangerous protectors often work in the most ordinary places. The United States Disciplinary Barracks at Fort Leavenworth stood as the military's only maximum security prison, its imposing concrete walls and guard towers housing some of the most dangerous criminals in military custody, including soldiers convicted of murder, treason, espionage, and other serious crimes that had earned them sentences ranging from decades to life imprisonment in one of America's most secure correctional facilities. Fort Leavenworth's mission encompassed not just containing dangerous military criminals, but also maintaining the kind of security protocols and operational procedures that prevented escapes, riots, and other incidents that could compromise public safety while ensuring that military justice was carried out in accordance with the highest standards of professional correctness and institutional security. The facility housed over 1,500 inmates in multiple security classifications, from minimum security prisoners who worked in support roles to maximum security offenders who required constant surveillance and specialized handling procedures due to their history of violence, escape attempts, or connections to terrorist organizations and other threats to national security. Among the dozens of military police personnel who provided security services throughout the prison complex was Sergeant Jessica Barnes, a 29-year-old woman who had been assigned to Fort Leavenworth for the past 4 years as a correctional security specialist responsible for prisoner supervision, facility security, and the routine operations that maintained order and safety within one of America's most challenging correctional environments. To her fellow military police officers and the correctional staff who worked alongside her daily, Jessica appeared to be exactly what her assignment suggested, a dedicated and reliable security guard who performed her duties with the professionalism and attention to detail expected of military police personnel working in high-security correctional facilities where mistakes could have serious consequences. Jessica's approach to correctional security was methodical and observant in ways that distinguished her from other guards who might provide routine supervision without paying particular attention to the subtle behavioral patterns and environmental factors that could indicate potential security threats or developing problems among the prisoner population. Her work performance was consistently excellent, with a perfect record of incident-free shifts and professional interactions with inmates that maintained appropriate authority while avoiding confrontations that could escalate into violence or disciplinary problems. Jessica's ability to maintain order through professional presence rather than aggressive enforcement had earned her respect from both colleagues and supervisors. What impressed her supervisors most about Jessica was her situational awareness and tactical thinking that seemed to go beyond what standard military police training would provide. She demonstrated exceptional ability to anticipate potential problems, identify security vulnerabilities, and respond to unusual situations with composure and effectiveness that suggested training and experience beyond routine correctional work. What none of Jessica's colleagues or supervisors knew was that her assignment as a correctional security guard was not a routine military police posting, but rather a carefully constructed cover identity that concealed her true background and the real reason she had been placed at one of the military's most important and potentially dangerous correctional facilities. Jessica Barnes was not just a military police sergeant with correctional experience. She was Staff Sergeant Jessica Barnes, a 12-year veteran of the Army's Special Weapons and Tactics teams with extensive experience in high-risk tactical operations, hostage rescue, and crisis response that had taken her to situations where split-second decisions and expert tactical skills meant the difference between successful mission completion and catastrophic failure. Her military background included graduation from the Army's Military Police Advanced Individual Training, specialized SWAT training at the Federal Law Enforcement Training Center, and operational experience with tactical response teams that had conducted operations in Iraq, Afghanistan, and domestic situations where military personnel were needed to support civilian law enforcement agencies facing threats beyond their normal capabilities. Jessica's SWAT experience encompassed not just tactical operations, but also crisis negotiation, tactical planning, and the leadership skills needed to coordinate complex operations involving multiple agencies and specialized personnel under extreme pressure where conventional police procedures were insufficient to ensure successful outcomes. The decision to place Jessica in an undercover assignment at Fort Leavenworth had been made at the highest levels of military law enforcement and intelligence services, based on concerns that organized criminal elements and terrorist organizations were attempting to establish influence within military correctional facilities through recruitment of inmates and infiltration of correctional staff. Jessica's mission was to serve as a tactical intelligence asset who could identify potential security threats while maintaining her cover as a routine correctional guard, ready to provide tactical leadership and SWAT expertise if situations arose that exceeded the capabilities of standard prison security procedures and required specialized tactical response to protect public safety. The sophisticated nature of Jessica's cover identity required her to actually perform correctional duties at a professional level while conducting intelligence gathering and threat assessment activities that went far beyond routine security work. Her SWAT training had included comprehensive education in correctional procedures and prisoner psychology that enabled her to work effectively as a guard while maintaining her tactical skills. For 4 years, Jessica had successfully maintained her dual role without incident. She had identified several potential security concerns, provided intelligence reports that had enhanced prison security procedures, and remained ready to provide tactical leadership if circumstances required her actual SWAT expertise to protect staff and public safety from threats that conventional correctional procedures could not address. Jessica's daily correctional duties provided ideal cover for intelligence gathering while keeping her current with prison operations and security procedures that could be crucial if she needed to coordinate tactical response to escape attempts, riots, or other crisis situations that might require SWAT intervention. Her position also allowed her to monitor prisoner activities, staff procedures, and security protocols that could be relevant to threat assessment while maintaining the tactical readiness needed to respond immediately if crisis situations developed that required specialized law enforcement capabilities. The crisis that would ultimately expose Jessica's true identity began on a Monday morning in early December when a coordinated escape attempt was launched by 15 maximum security prisoners who had been planning their operation for months while exploiting vulnerabilities in prison procedures and staff routines that they had identified through careful observation and preparation. The escape attempt was not a spontaneous riot or individual breakout, but rather a sophisticated operation that involved multiple coordinated actions designed to overwhelm prison security through simultaneous attacks on different aspects of the facility's defensive systems, while creating confusion and chaos that would enable the prisoners to reach perimeter areas and escape into the surrounding community. The prisoners involved in the escape attempt included several individuals convicted of murder, armed robbery, and terrorist activities who posed significant threats to public safety and had demonstrated willingness to use violence against correctional staff and civilians to achieve their objectives. Their escape would create immediate danger to the local community and potential national security concerns. The operation began with coordinated attacks on prison communication systems, power distribution, and security monitoring equipment that temporarily disabled many of the technological systems that prison staff relied upon to maintain situational awareness and coordinate response to emergency situations throughout the facility. Simultaneously, the escaping prisoners attacked correctional officers in multiple locations throughout the prison, using improvised weapons and coordinated tactics that suggested planning and preparation that went beyond what individual inmates could accomplish without outside assistance or professional knowledge of tactical operations. Jessica was conducting routine prisoner supervision in the maximum security housing unit when the escape attempt began, and her immediate recognition of the coordinated nature of the attack told her that this was not a routine prison incident, but a sophisticated operation that would require tactical response beyond what standard correctional procedures could provide. Her assessment of the situation was professional and immediate, recognizing that the prisoners had planned their operation to exploit weaknesses in the prison's defensive procedures while overwhelming staff through multiple simultaneous attacks that would prevent effective coordination of defensive responses. As the escape attempt unfolded, and it became clear that several correctional officers had been injured or taken hostage by the escaping prisoners, Jessica realized that the situation required tactical expertise and crisis leadership that was not available through normal prison command structure and security procedures. The decision to reveal her true capabilities was made as Jessica assessed the tactical situation and recognized that her SWAT training and operational experience were the only assets available that could prevent the escape attempt from succeeding, while minimizing casualties among correctional staff and preventing dangerous criminals from reaching the surrounding community. Jessica's transformation from correctional guard to tactical team leader was immediate and complete. Using the prison's emergency communication system, she transmitted the message that would expose her true identity while taking tactical command of response efforts that had been fragmented and ineffective under conventional correctional procedures. All units, this is SWAT Team Leader Barnes taking tactical command of escape response, Jessica announced, using the call sign and authority that identified her as a specialized tactical operator with training and experience beyond routine correctional work. Implement containment procedures and prepare for coordinated tactical response. The effect of Jessica's transmission on prison personnel was immediate and dramatic. Her obvious tactical expertise and command authority provided exactly the leadership that the crisis situation required, while her knowledge of SWAT procedures and prison operations enabled her to develop effective response strategies that utilized available resources to maximum advantage. Jessica's tactical plan involved coordinating multiple response teams to simultaneously contain the escaping prisoners while protecting hostages and preventing the breach of perimeter security that would enable dangerous criminals to escape into the surrounding community where they could threaten civilian populations. Her SWAT expertise proved crucial for analyzing the prisoners' tactics and capabilities while developing counter-strategies that neutralized their advantages and restored correctional staff control over the facility. Her knowledge of tactical operations and crisis management enabled her to coordinate complex responses that addressed multiple threats simultaneously. The tactical response that Jessica coordinated successfully prevented the escape attempt while minimizing casualties among correctional staff and prisoners. Her leadership during the crisis demonstrated exceptional tactical skills and operational expertise that had been hidden beneath her cover identity as a routine correctional guard. The successful containment of the escape attempt and the capture of all 15 prisoners involved prevented what could have been a significant threat to public safety while demonstrating tactical capabilities that the prisoners had not expected to encounter within a routine correctional facility. The revelation of Jessica's true identity as a SWAT team leader had immediate implications for prison security procedures and tactical planning that recognized the presence of specialized capabilities that had been concealed within routine correctional operations. Her successful leadership during the crisis proved the value of placing tactical experts in positions where they could respond to threats that exceeded conventional security capabilities. For Jessica, the exposure of her cover identity marked the end of 4 years of successful intelligence gathering while demonstrating the effectiveness of maintaining tactical readiness even during undercover assignments that required her to conceal her specialized training and operational expertise. The correctional personnel who had worked with Jessica during her 4 years as a security guard gained new understanding of the hidden tactical expertise that existed within military correctional facilities, often concealed behind routine job assignments that masked the presence of elite law enforcement professionals ready to respond when circumstances required their specialized skills. Jessica's story became a classified example within military law enforcement and tactical operations circles, demonstrating how SWAT personnel could serve in multiple roles while maintaining the tactical expertise needed to respond when their unique capabilities became essential for protecting public safety during crisis situations that tested the limits of conventional correctional procedures. Staff Sergeant Jessica Barnes had proven that the most effective protection of correctional facilities often came from tactical professionals who served without recognition, maintaining cover identities that concealed their expertise while remaining ready to reveal their true capabilities when the safety of staff and public depended on tactical knowledge and operational skills that could make the difference between successful crisis resolution and catastrophic security failures. The prison guard who had seemed dedicated to routine correctional duties had actually been one of the Army's most experienced SWAT operators, ready to transition from security guard to tactical team leader when the protection of correctional staff and public safety required specialized law enforcement expertise that could counter sophisticated criminal operations designed to exploit vulnerabilities in standard prison security procedures. SWAT Team Leader Barnes had answered the call when her expertise was needed, proving that tactical legends in military law enforcement were often hidden in routine assignments, serving quietly until circumstances demanded the revelation of capabilities that could preserve order and protect innocent lives during crisis situations that would otherwise overwhelm conventional security measures and threaten public safety.